everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another day of turning challenges into victories. Today is day 16 of 75 Hard, and today I will be talking about what books I'm reading and why. So to give you a little bit of context, I always like to focus on books about wisdom, work, and vision. By doing that, I feel like I am constantly improving my craft. I feel like I am becoming a better version of myself, and at the end of the day, my goal is to become a motivational speaker, someone who is able to inspire other people to do great things in their life. And by reading these books, I feel like I am just adding more tools into my tool belt. So as different situations arise, as people come to me with their own problems, I'm able to give them options as to how to resolve said problems, or if I just need to be a listening ear, I'm happy to be that as well. And before we dive deeper into this topic, I just want to give you a recap of what my day looked like today. So for my outdoor workout, I ended up doing an outdoor walk with my family. And today I did actually have to exert myself quite a bit. My wife bought our kids a little train, an electric train, and it actually seats all three of the kiddos. And typically what they do is one person takes the train and then the other kids take their bikes. Well, our daughter decided she did not want to ride her bike, and this was like halfway through our walk, and I ended up riding her little bike, and she wanted to drive the train, which she's not very good at driving the train, so I was pedaling her little bike and steering the train at the same time. So I decided that counted as my workout for today because we were out there for a little bit over 45 minutes. And then for my indoor workout, just multitasking on the treadmill. So again, just walking on the treadmill at an incline and then just working on my computer at the same time. For my reading, I am still working through The Magic of Thinking Big. I will be in this book for probably the next few weeks. It is a pretty lengthy book, but it's a really great book. In terms of my water intake, I was able to meet my water intake and finish at a decent time today, so that was great. For my diet, I ended up skipping my protein shake this morning because I had a meeting, and by the time I was gonna get around to it, it was afternoon, and I usually have caffeine in that shake. You're not supposed to take caffeine afternoon, so I ended up just skipping that, and I ended up doing a meal for lunch, which was leftover chicken and rice. And then for my dinner, I ended up doing a protein pasta with chicken. My progress photos, I will do those after the video is done recording. And then in terms of energy, today I was definitely a little bit sluggish. Usually the almond butter shake gives me a little bit of extra boost in the morning. Since I didn't have that, I did feel a little bit slow throughout the day. Alrighty, on to today's topic, which is what books am I reading and why am I reading those books? So the first book that I started was the Lombardi Rules. I want to say it's 26 rules altogether. And I had never read this book. It was recommended inside the Andy Frisella book, and it's also on his website. And I actually really enjoyed it. It talks about being a great leader, a great coach. For those of you that don't know, Vince Lombardi was a football coach. He was the head coach for the Green Bay Packers. He's considered once one of the greatest NFL coaches of all time. The Super Bowl trophy is the Vince Lombardi trophy. I just wanted to take some of the lessons that he gives in that book and see how I could apply it not only into my own life, but also instill those in the team that I work with and lead. And secondly, the book that I'm currently reading right now is The Magic of Thinking Big. I had previously read this book, and I do like to go back and reread some of the books that I've read in the past. The reason I like to do this is because as we move through life, we change mentally, spiritually, financially, and there's just a lot of great lessons in there that 5 years ago, 10 years ago may have not applied to you, or maybe you just didn't know about. And fast forward 5-10 years, all of these things now apply to you, and it's just a good reminder of where you were and where you are and where you're going. And that's just kind of what I think of when I think of the power of the magic of thinking big, is how my life has changed over the last 10 years. And I'm rereading it right now because we are starting a new venture with a business partner. And it's just a good reminder that whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you're right. And there's a lot of excuses that you can make that just continually keep you down. And typically when you start making excuses, after a while, they just become your truths. And those truths, again, keep you down, keep you from moving forward, and you just stay in this rut. A few of the other books that I have read in the last 18 days for my sales team, we're reading All Salespeople Tell Stories, and it just talks about how we all have formulated opinions on life, biases, if you will. And so as salespeople, we have to figure out what those biases are so that we can connect with people, because we don't have enough time to change other people's biases. And we can't go into a sale thinking that we're going to convince them that we're right and their biases are wrong. Sales in general is an art, and I love it. I love learning about it. I love the psychology behind it. So I think that's been a great book. The other book that I already finished, again, was a reread, and it was Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. That book just applies generally in life, just how to be a good person, how to connect with people, how to genuinely show appreciation. If you haven't read it, it's a great book. It's, I believe, on like an all-time bestsellers book. And the book that I'm currently listening to while I go on my walks is also a Dale Carnegie book, which is Stop Worrying and Start Living. Another great book on how our worries tend to keep us down, and how there's a lot of things in our life that if we end up focusing a lot of attention to, ultimately become a reality. So it goes hand in hand with the magic of thinking big, which I think is really good. In my day-to-day, I get to have the privilege of leading a team of salespeople, as well as I have a few virtual assistants that help me with a few different tasks throughout the day. And one of the things that I love to do with them is do one-on-one meetings throughout the week. And it's just an opportunity for me to get to know them on a more personal level. And it's my belief that if you can help somebody on a personal level, they will also grow in a professional setting. And so getting to know them has been awesome. And one of the things that the Lombardi Rules talks about is how he would say he would have to find 52 ways to motivate 52 players, because not everybody is motivated the same way. And I have found that to be true with my own team. Everybody's struggling with different things in their life, both personally and professionally. And one conversation will not be the same as another conversation, even if it is the same topic. One person has certain beliefs, certain biases that we need to work through, whereas the other person is on a completely different path. So that's been great, and I really just enjoyed getting to know them. And I hope if they ever do watch this video, I hope that they feel the same way, that they are taking positive things away from our meetings. I also believe that by continually reading different books and books on leadership, motivation, self-help, all of these books, in my opinion, help raise my standards. And ultimately, by raising my standards, I stop making excuses. So I stop limiting my self-talk, and I adjust my motivation, not only to my day-to-day through daily habits, but also I'm able to instill more motivation into the people around me. My ultimate goal in all of this, and one of the reasons that I am doing this, is essentially a stepping stone into becoming the person that I want to become. And that person is someone that motivates others, whether it's coaching, whether it's doing large talks at conferences, whatever it may look like. That ultimately is my vision for my future. And I just want to become a builder of both people and vision through leadership, through my faith, through my family, and just have a long-term impact in their lives and the lives of the people that they come in contact with. Lastly, I will just leave you with this. Stop playing small, start thinking big. Consistency is the superpower. And if today's message hit home, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with someone who may need a little extra push today. It helps my mission and it helps more people start turning their own challenges into their own victories. And don't forget, envision, strategize, and then execute. Thanks for watching.